Hello Legacy Sabers, Marsh here. So today we're going to look at if then else statements. You're going to want to find the note sheet on Classroom to fill out as we go through this again today. And then that will be turned in to Classroom so that I can tell that you watched the video and completed it. So you're probably asking, well, what's the difference between these if then statements and these if then else? Well, if then is the ability sometimes you want so that certain things will happen when one value is typed in, but if that's not typed in, maybe you want the other guy. So we're still looking at these conditional statements, we're still looking at if statements, but we need the ability to take care of the what if the other thing happens. So if then else allows you to include an optional else clause that's going to be executed when the if condition evaluates to false. So in this case, this is my general form in Visual Basic and in most languages, to tell you the truth. So in this case, what we're going to be doing is we got this if and then the condition. Now remember, again, the condition is a Boolean statement. So that's like, is the variable less than 5 or is it greater than 20? That kind of thing. Then I got my statements. So these statements right here, these will happen when I am a true. Else, these guys are going to happen if I have a false because of that condition, okay? So keeping that in mind, those are going to be valid, that either statement is going to happen when you have an else. Let's try an example here so we get an idea. So I got dim int age as integer. If int age is equal to 18, then LBL message.text equals you can vote. Else, LBL message.text equals you can't vote yet. Then I'll end the if. So remember what this looks like in the memory of my computer. So if I assign int age to be 19 in the memory of my computer, here's my memory over here, there is a box and it says int age, that's its name right here. And then we are assigning 19 into that particular box. So we're saying this is 19. So then whenever it sees the word int age, the computer is having to go into its memory bank, look at int age, notice it's 19, so it's going to scribble out this int age, and it's going to be like, oh, that's 19. And then it's going to ask itself, is 19 equal to 18? Well, no, right? That's definitely not the case. That is a false statement. Since it's a false statement, we will go to our else in this particular time, and I will display for 19, you can't vote yet. Okay, so keeping that in mind is that's what we're doing. We're able to have either thing pop up. Unlike last time we talked, it was one thing could just pop up or you would have a nothing. This allows you to prevent that nothing business happening. So let's check with 14. So again, I'm going to do some erasing here. Okay. So 14 right here, and we're going to make int age equal to 14. So 14, because that's int age, right, is equal to 18. Is that truth? Definitely not, right? 14 is not equal to 18. So again, that's a false statement, which means I will show you can't vote yet. Okay, so that would show up for that one. The final example here, let's do some erasing. Let's erase the 4, right? Because I need the 8. Okay, so I'm going to assign it to 18. So in the memory of my computer, we're putting an 18 inside of the box labeled int age. So int age, we are saying is 18, and then the computer is going to ask, and so are we, we're going to say, does 18 equal 18? And we'll be like, well, yeah, 18 100% equals 18, right? So that is a true statement. Since that's a true statement, we're going to evaluate this particular piece of it. So for 18, we would display, you can vote. Isn't that cool? That would actually show up like that for us. Now, again, these also allow you to use relational operators. Again, I'm going to remind you that if you struggle with the less than and the greater than signs, and I know that there are people who do, Do not feel embarrassed if you do. But if you need to remember that a less than sign is just an L, but curved or turned or laying down, if you want to say it that way, that will help you. So this guy's a less than. Okay, the guy that's flipped around is a greater than. This guy is greater than or equal to, right? Then this guy is less than or equal to. And then this guy, of course, is the not equal to sign for us. So one thing to keep in mind, the not equal to is not as useful. It is sometimes used, but it's not as useful as like the greater than or equal to. So with this one, there are students who get confused. They put the equal sign first, but we read it like we type it. So we say greater than or equal to, so we're going to write the greater than sign and then the equal sign. So just think of it, we read it like we say it. Okay? So let's try with a relational operator. So I have my int age as integer, made a variable as an integer, and I'm going to check if int age is greater than 17. If that's the case, I'm going to display in a message, you can see an R-rated film without an adult. Else, I'm going to say in that same label, better get your parents to come along. Okay, so we got, again, remember, this is my memory of my computer here. So they're going to say int age, that's the name of my guy here. It's the name of the box. And they're putting a 19 in there. So I'm going to put a 19 there. So what if int age becomes 19 is what they're saying. So I'm going to check. Is 19 greater than 17? 19 is bigger than 17, right? So this would be a true statement. So that means I would go inside of the if. So I will say, you can see a R-rated film, right? The entire thing. But your guys are allowed to be lazy too. You guys don't have to write it all out. Let's say then they're saying, well, what about this test case? What about 17? So we're going to check 17 here. 17. Okay, is 17 greater than 17? No, right? 17 is equal to 17, but it definitely ain't greater than. So that is a false statement. Since that's a false statement, we're not going to go inside the if, we're going to go inside the else. Okay, so the false statement is the else piece. So we are going to write for 17, better get your parents to come along, right? Let's check 13 now. I'm going to do some erasing here. Okay, so 13. So 13's been assigned inside of our memory of our computer. So we check, is 13 greater than 17? Definitely not, right? 13's definitely not greater than 17. So I'm not going to go inside my if, I'm going to go inside the else, and I'm going to say inside my label, better get your parents to come along, right? Alright, well that's the end of the video. So here's what I need you guys to do. On the end of the note sheet are some if then else statements with some movie quotes that would display inside of the labels. What I want you to do is complete those just to check for your understanding, and then again remember to turn this in under Google Classroom so you are showing that you completed this video. Until then, I look forward to seeing you guys, and see you later, Sabers.